Hello, everybody. Welcome to New York Pizza Festival. We're talking to some great pizza makers, pizzeria operators, all about what the importance of giving back to the community. So I've invited three people who each represent a different pizzeria, all based in New York City. They're all beaming in right now from outside of New York City. They're getting out of the city for a minute or two. And I want to introduce to everybody three amazing people. We got Marianne from Paulie Gee's. Give it up for Marianne. We got Nicholas from Slice, the Slice Pizzerias in Queens. And then we've got Hakki, famous Hakki from Champion Pizza all over Manhattan. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
It's a real pleasure. I got to ask you, yes, before we get into the whole giving back situation, because we're doing this panel because the New York Pizza Festival is fundraising for Slice Out Hunger, which is an organization that I run that does hunger relief fundraising for programs all across the United States. So the idea behind Slice Out Hunger is that we can use people's love and enthusiasm for pizza to generate money and support for hunger relief and prevention. And I know all three of you are really involved with hunger relief and prevention, but you also do so much else to give back. But before we hear about that, I want to know what brought you into the pizza game in the first place. How did you get involved in running these three great pizzerias? Hakki, maybe I'll start with you.
I will be the last one. I will go the first, okay? You know me, I'm a very shy person, but you know what? I'll go the first one, okay?
You're the least shy person. Then Marianne. Let's start with Marianne. Ladies first anyway.
The lady first,
shy.
Okay, please, yes.
That's why I said the opposite of shy.
Well, I started eating pizza when I was a kid in Brooklyn, and my first experience, you were asking Nick before, was actually going up to 13th Avenue in Brooklyn, where I grew up, and actually having pizza out of in a bakery oven. So when I was a kid.
Do you remember the name of the place?
It might have been Satellite Bakery. There were a couple of them around in the neighborhood. There was also one a couple of blocks from the school that I went to, and we would go out there at lunchtime, when you were allowed to go out at lunchtime. I'm a little older than you guys. And, get your lunch, and you would get, a square of pizza, and that was like exciting. And that's how I knew pizza. But I got fully immersed in the pizza world because of my husband. I don't know that I would have landed here without that connection, because he's a big pizza guy and would take our kids on pizza tours and all that, and really exposed me to different styles of pizza. I never had Napolitan pizza before I went with my husband. So that's how we sort of got involved in this crazy business, which has really been a gift on so many levels, because it's a business, and he really looks more at the business aspect of it. And I've always looked at it as a charity aspect. So that's why I kind of went into it, even though I didn't want to initially, because I knew that if he did well, then I could really do what I wanted to do. And that was, giving back in the charity piece.
I definitely want to hear more about that later. But first, I want to check in with Nicholas and find out. Nicholas, well, I know you first really got into pizza because your father would make it for you. But how did you get into the pizza business?
Yeah, so I actually run some other restaurants in Long Island City as well, called Blend on the Water, and we have Blend LIC. We had a little problem where there was nowhere for us to get pizza or food at the end of the shift for the staff, and even for ourselves. So like after 10 o'clock, there was nothing. So the restaurant would close, we'd be hungry, want some pizza, and there'd be nothing in our neighborhood. So we opened our own pizzeria, and it took off from there,
So you did it out of necessities because you wanted to eat more pizza.
Yeah.
And now how many restaurants do you have? How many pizzerias do you have?
We have 3 pizzerias, Slice LIC on Vernon Boulevard, Slice Astoria on 30th Avenue, and Slice Broadway, which is also in Astoria, on Broadway and Steinway.
Beautiful. Well, now let's go to the shy guy, Hakki. Tell us about how did you get into pizza from childhood to the man in black that we see today?
Yes, sir. Well, like the childhood, like I'm from like originally from Turkey. So back home we do like a Turkish pizza, it called lahmacun, thin crust. So like age 8, 9, like I used to work in a Turkish pizzeria and go buy like 40, 50 pieces pie, like lahmacun, and go on the street, sell it in the cafeteria, stuff like sell it, okay? For like, let's say $1. And later, like the owner, he liked me and he said, like, you should work, like behind the kitchen, be as a chef. Age like 10, 11, I work in the kitchen, like for like, I will say like 12 to like 15, become like the pizza guy, Turkish pizza guy. We make like thin crust, they call lahmacun, only just like ground beef, tomato, parsley, and crushed red pepper, olive oil. And then age 15, I was a little bit naughty and back at home, my brother said, like, we want to take you to Canada. So if you come in Canada, at least, you can take care of your, like other brother, sister, and Turkey. So my stepbrother take me in Canada. And when I went over there in Montreal, he had a pizza shop. They call like Metro Pizza. So I went over there and supposed to like study and work, but I was very, very not too smart in school, and I love to work in pizza shop. So my brother, put me in just directly to the pizza business to work with him. First, I make a dough, like cottage cheese, stuff like that. But later, in 2-3 months, I become like a pizza man over there. And age 15, today, like I'm 41 for like 26 years. Make a pizza since that day, and just being pizza man since that day.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. But what about, Marianne alluded to this before, and I want to get back to it, is what about this? I invited you here because you're all really into giving back to the community. You're 3 people who, anytime I know I call you on behalf of Slice Out Hunger, the answer is always, yes, what can I do? Why is it that you think it's important for a business, especially a pizza business, to give back to the community?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like very personal, because I mean, like, I'm sure like my story, like how when I come in New York City in 2001 and start from nothing, become homeless, living in a shelter like Bowery Mission for 96 days. Before going to shelter, I was in the street for like almost like 12 days, train back and forth, and from living, like the street, to know other people, what the hunger is, to know, like other people, like they really need your help and they need your voice. And it made, like I said, it becomes very personal to me. And for me, it's not about like how much money you have, like to give it back. It's about how much can you give it back. And for me, like when I help like a homelessness, like any homeless guy, I mean, like, and Laurie said, like all guys that come, like, like a pizza angel, but, I'm just pizza man, not angel, like angel's different, level. Okay. I love it give me like every day, like positive energy when I do like, giving back. And giving back is not about to just give all, to give whatever you can. And I do like whatever I can, and I'm happy. That's what I'm blessed today. And like if I don't give it back, maybe I'm not gonna make a lot. So I give it back and I make a lot. And God give me a lot. I believe in karma, karma.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot to be thankful for. And your story really, it makes a whole lot of sense about why you're so giving, is because you've been on the other end of this.
I mean, Scott, like like there's every homeless guys on the street. For me, like of course, we do a lot of like affordable, like we go like front affordable houses, like people they really need help. We give a lot of like different food. But I'm a pizza guy. I can give a lot of pizza, and I know what's being in the street. Like those guys, like how much they're going through. Okay, so like maybe like for me is like to spend like maybe $100 is nothing for me, or maybe even like $1 is for me. Not $1 is nothing, but for some people $1 is like a lot of money. They cannot have it, and for that reason, like I say it's just too much personal, man. I get emotional when it comes like this kind of story. It just make me like emotional. I tell my son, like my son's 17 years old. I want like before you do anything, before you become like anything, just be kind, because kindness is everything. Kindness is before everything. Okay, if you're kind, and people will be kind to you. If you be nice, people will be nice to you. And if you be like respect everybody as like everyone equally, everyone, no matter what. Don't look people, like they're cute, they're beautiful, or they're rich, or whatever they have. Look at people, everybody just equally, okay? And people will respect you the way you are.
I don't think, I mean, you have a different perspective because you've been in this situation where you needed help. But I mean, for like Nicholas and Marianne, why did you decide that part of your businesses would involve giving back to the community as much as you do?
Well, I'll say so. Hakki, you're making me very emotional here because, your story is amazing and how you've turned that around to benefit other people. I mean, that's really what it's all about, right? And it's interesting that you say you were homeless. I didn't know that, but we're actually working with a group in North Brooklyn Aid, and they do, reach out to the houseless community where they bring people in at night and stuff. And I actually somehow got involved with them because I keep my ears open too about everything. I think some of the questions go back to that. How do you engage, and how do you, I might be skipping the question line here, but basically it's a matter of listening to what's going on locally. I mean, we don't get too involved with any outreach like beyond, Greenpoint, Williamsburg, whatever. We would get involved with Slice Out Hunger because it's the same initiative. It's feeding people, right? And I always feel like if people don't eat, there is nothing else they're going to be able to do. So, I mean, that's like the fundamental basic need, right? So, I mean, you're coming from a real person of experience, but when I grew up, I mean, I always look at this when I see people. I was never hungry. I was never without a roof over my head. And I've always been grateful for that. And I was taught that by my grandmother because she came, from nothing. And, pretty much we did too. We weren't living high on the hog, but we always had a roof over our head and something to eat. And it really pains me when I see people that don't have like the basic necessities. So, I applaud what you're doing and from where you came from. But like, I think it's important as individuals that, you get to a certain place, but you need to constantly, I think, be reflecting on where you were from, and what you could do to help other people. There's so much need out there. And what other better way than if you do have a food business, you can engage directly with giving food. It's not even like you're giving dollars. Sometimes you give dollars and gift cards and things like that. But when you give a pie, I mean, pizza is a real comfort food, right? So people get happy, and it's it's purpose. It's a purpose in life.
Nicholas, what about with you in Long Island City and in Astoria? I mean, why is it that you've decided to be so active with giving back to the community?
So we've gotten a lot of love from the community, and it's honestly changed our lives. It took us from one restaurant to multiple locations, and I feel it's part of our not part of our job, but it's something that we should do to give back and show our love for the community that supported us and made us so great. So whenever we can help out, we do. We for example, there was some fires in Queens last week. We took some pizzas and brought them to the people along with some other food. We always try to support Queens. That's where everyone's from in our group. If there's anything going on in the larger neighborhood as well, as in the city, we try to help out as we can.
Now, I'm curious. I remember as a kid, like the pizzeria always sponsored the Little League team. The pizzeria was always involved with the things that the kids did. Why do you think that this is such a big deal for pizzerias to be so involved with their community? Where I see that happening more than with any other restaurant type. Why? What's the connection between that pizza and the community?
Well, I'll chime in on that one. I think it's also a transportable food. It's something that's already most of the times in the box and cut. And because I know when we used to have things with our kids, and I have two older boys now, But, if you brought pizza or got pizza and you even out at a park, it was something easy to implement because you just opened the box and everybody grabbed a piece, So I think that that's part of it. It's just, it's convenient.
And
sorry.
no, go ahead.
I'll add in there. So it's also easier for, not that it's easier, but it's more economical for people to give. Like you can feed 8 people for $18, if it comes down to it. Where if people donate from a steakhouse, let's say a steak is $30, they have to donate, and they're donating 8 plates, then it's going to cost $240. So people tend to, we can feed a lot more people with pizza, so they tend to go that way.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense when you put it in the numbers. So, want to know more about specifics. Like, how do you all specifically give back to the community? Marianne mentioned sometimes it's giving dollars, sometimes it's giving pizzas. But like, what are the other ways that you find yourself getting involved? And is it always something that you find, or is it somebody coming to you to ask for it? Because I know running a restaurant, you get asked all the time to give. How does that all work? Like, how do you actually make the give to people?
I'll start. I don't know why I feel like starting today, but basically, like even the first year in business, it was sort of overwhelming that people would come to you, and we were just really starting out. We were really, really struggling the first year. I didn't even know that we would make it the first year. We were borrowing money off our house to stay in business the first year. So, but, people had requested things from us, and, my husband has always been more the, the business guy. And I look at things with a very different lens from a whole world perspective. That's just me every day. And, people would come to us and, I would say something to him and he'd say, oh, we don't have any money this year, or we're not going to make payroll, and I would say to him, don't worry about it. I will take care of it. And, whoever came, if it was reasonable, I would give gift certificates the first year and all that kind of stuff. And because I'm just a believer, like what Hakki said, what you give out, you get back. And you don't do it for that reason. But that is just the universal principle. And I have seen that so many times in our business that it gives me chills when I think about it. Because when we needed help in the very beginning, people showed up and just did things for us and never even asked for $1, and still never came back and asked us for, somebody gave money to us to have our sign put up. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. But I always feel like, if you're given, then you return. And that's exactly what Hakki was saying. We are like on the same page. I mean, because it's just the law of the universe. And does that mean you'll get that back this year? Who cares? You may never get it back. It doesn't matter. You're doing it anyway. And I think that when you have that kind of attitude, I have seen it in our business so many times. I mean, people just gravitate towards you also because it's a genuine, spirit of giving. It's not really, yes, it is a business. We have to pay people. We have to do rent. We have to pay bills. I'm not pie in the sky. But, there's another element to it. If you want to look at it that way, there is definitely another element to it. And I think a lot of people miss the boat because of that. And and you still have to work hard and you have to plan and you have, all of that goes with it for sure. But I feel like, especially if you're in the food business, you have a vehicle built in already where you could feed people, so it's not like something you have to make up. We have the pizza. So, I mean, we got a request a couple of weeks ago from Ronald McDonald's house, which we had never been involved with before. And I'm not sure how it came about, But, you know, it was like 25 pies. And, you know, sometimes my husband and I, we don't have our own delivery service. We actually will get the pies ourselves, get our cars out. And you know what it's like in New York, trying with the logistics of parking and everything. And we'll go we'll deliver it ourselves. I mean, both of us will go, you know, so it's like, it's almost like a labor of love at that point, you know. You always want to keep growing and expanding, which we're doing now, and it gets crazy. And it sounds like you guys are doing the same thing, but you still have to take the time to do, I think, things that are important.
Isn't it nice that you have the opportunity to be able to do that, where if somebody asks for something, you can just turn around and say, yeah, sure, here are 20 pies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is a gift. I mean, we don't even think about it. And we're not doing that every day, obviously, but you know, you do as much as you can if people come to you. And, you know, there were other times we couldn't do as much, you know, but last year also, I'm sure you guys too had the opportunity and were involved with the healthcare workers. I mean, that just was another thing that came out of it. That was such a gift in a sense, you know, that we were able, like during the craziness in New York, and we all lived it there. I think we're still feeling the repercussions of that there in the pizza business. We are. Our business is, you know, way, way down. Even though we're in the pizza business, people think, oh, you know, pizza, it's great. Must still be doing great. And some people are really, really doing great. But I wouldn't say we're doing great, but that's okay. You know, that's okay. But that didn't stop us last year. And I'm sure you guys did the same thing. That didn't stop us from, if somebody came to us giving pies, you know, we did it anyway. I mean, you know, that was our way to help with the crisis last year. And, you know, it felt good to be able, in the midst of all that negativity and all that craziness, to do something positive. I mean, it actually felt like it was giving energy. It was, you know, it was doing something instead of, you know, sitting around and looking at the news and crying about everything. And it was good to do something positive to help somebody.
I know sometimes when something like that happens, people don't always react as quickly as maybe you did, Marianne. What advice do you have for restaurant owners, pizzeria owners who want to do something but don't know where to start? What would you tell them to do to take that first step toward helping?
Well, I just think it's a matter of, you know, like I said, keeping your eyes open and your ears open when you talk to people. I mean, I don't know what you guys do in your businesses, but we're very, very involved with talking to the community and other business owners in the neighborhood. You know, we have a Vietnamese restaurant next door. We have a Pilates studio next door, and we all talk to each other. And that's a way too of finding out where the needs are in the community. And I think also I wouldn't worry about that so much, because I think people do come to you. I mean, I've seen that a good part of the time. If there's a need and they know you're there and you're open, they will come to you. So it isn't so much about trying to always seek something out, because there's plenty that is out there and it will happen.
What about you guys, Nicholas and Hakki? What advice do you have for somebody who's looking to take that first step toward giving back to the community?
Well, I would say,
Okay.
Sorry,
but
I would say go with something that you're passionate about. So like if you like kids sports, you like basketball, sponsor a basketball team. You know, something like that. It makes it easier. You know, when COVID came around, it was like, all right, well, what can we do? You know, we're not doctors, we're not nurses. Well, we can cook, we can you know, show people our love and support that way. So we even took I have a portable uni. I took that to Mount Sinai Hospital and I cooked pizza, because we were giving pizzas every day to the hospitals, but it's not the same having you know, all right, the restaurant made 30 pizzas, we sent it to a location. It's still good, but it's not the same as having a fresh pie cooked for you to order. So I cooked with a uni oven I cooked pizza for all the hospital staff as they came downstairs, and I gave them all a fresh pie. So it was just like choosing what can I do in my abilities.
That's so cool. I love that you had brought out the little portable oven and start just cooking. That's like really above and beyond, because I think there are probably a lot of people out there who think that they don't have the time or the funds to be able to do it. But Hakki, you were about to say something.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry about the cut off the other person that talked. Sorry about that. Well, like the beginning, like the COVID, right now, the COVID, it hit so many restaurants. A lot of people, like special restaurants owner, they suffering very bad. I closed like Champion, like 3 Champion Pizza. I closed my other 4 restaurants. I closed altogether almost like 7 right now, and we may close another one, which is okay. But at the beginning, and beginning COVID, like what we did like mask, me and my wife. So I want to go buy one mask. I have asthma, so I kind of like if I get a COVID, I was scared I'm gonna die. So I want to get buy one mask. They call it N95, and I want the supermarket. They told me like $30 one mask. And I tell my wife, like, how can you make like something to help, like other people they need? And we make a mask. We make almost like over like 10,000 masks. I'm not saying like number, but we make. I mean, you see my videos every day. We used to go like on the street, like from Breaking Ground, New Haven, Bowery Mission, Time, the homeless shelter, and we was giving just like mask, executives mask. Right now I have it, this kind of mask. So what we did, we put a sign from the store, put on Soho location, I put on Essex, I put on 101 Ludlow that time. And I think we did on 5th Avenue, 14th Street 1. So we put a big sign. We say like, like if you don't have a money, please don't be shy, don't be afraid, don't be scared, just come ask for the slice, okay? And drink. My partner, he called me, said, Hakki, what'd you do? Like we are dying, we don't have money to pay our rent. And you want to give like free everything? What you doing? Like, are you okay? You're crazy? Are you out of mind? We are losing. We don't have money to pay rent, and you give a free everything. We're not that rich. Okay, go easy. I know you have like go hard, but come on, no, we are losing a lot. So I mean, like to give it back, you have to love it. If you love it, and if you really know what's mean to give it back. I think that's why like you enjoy so much, and you be blessed so much. And I always say like I don't want to like give to get it back. I always say like don't give to get, give to inspire other people to give. So like if I do and it could inspire other restaurants or other like any pizza shops, it mean a lot. Like they look at me and they see my videos. Oh, this guy, he do like very good job. I would love to do like just like him. And so many people, they don't know how to give it back. They want to, but they don't know what's the direction, what's the right way. And when they see the videos, when they see this gentleman and the other like other millions, so like when they see us, we do like good things. Hey, you know what? We want to do same thing. So there's a way to give it back. And I mean, we did like challenge. So many people, they do same right now, and giving back is just blessed, Scott. I mean, like I said, I start from nothing. Don't have like $1 to buy one slice in 2001. Today we donate like 1,000 of 1,000. It's just blessed, that it's blessed.
Yeah, it's really incredible. It's super inspiring. What you just said is the thing that strikes me the most. It is that you give so that other people see what you're doing, and then they do the same. Because if enough people do that, then you finally have a system that everybody supports each other. And that's what Slice Out Hunger is all about. It's about doing things together. Let's band together and do something coordinated so that other people will be inspired to do the same. And by doing these things together, we have way more force than we do, doing them independently or letting yourself say or letting your partner say, oh, we really shouldn't or can't do this. Like what Marianne said, right from the get-go, her goal was, okay, Paulie, if you run the business real well, then I'll be able to do this community support stuff that I love. Hakki, same thing. And Nicholas, same thing. It's so inspiring. And I just want to thank you all for being here. Before we cut out, I just want to go around real quickly and let everybody know where they can be in touch with you or your restaurant. Instagram, Twitter, website, whatever. Marianne, how can people get in touch with Paulie Gee's?
Our website is pauliegee.com, and we have 2 locations in Brooklyn, one on Greenpoint Avenue, which is our original space, and the other one is the Slice Shop that we opened a few years ago on Franklin Street. We're also opening a new location in New Orleans, crazy that we are. And we have a few other locations outside of New York that are actually franchises with people that we love. And one is in Columbus, Baltimore, and Chicago. So if you just go to our website, all of the information is there. And of course, Paulie's crazy on Instagram and everything else. I do a little bit of that. But as I say, I'm more focused, on the charity side of it. And I'm really trying to up my game in that area too. So I might be calling you guys for some info. Thank you.
So, Nicholas, how can people get in touch with you and the Slice Pizzerias?
So they can reach out on Instagram, Slice LIC, Slice Astoria, Slice Broadway, or our website or email info@slicebroadway.com. That's probably the easiest ways.
Beautiful. Hakki, what about you? Besides showing up to the restaurants and demanding free pizza.
Yeah. They can reach us through Champion Pizza NYC. They can look it up, like which location they open. Like I said, we closed a couple right now. 3 Champion Pizzas closed down. So like 4 of them still open. Astoria 1, 14th Street, Essex, and Soho, Champion Pizza Soho. They are still open. And or they could go just like directly to Champion Pizza on IG, Instagram. That's the best way. Or they can just find like a Bowery Mission, the place, like my home, my second home, homeless shelter, Bowery Mission. That would be the best one for me.
There you go. Big thanks, Hakki from Champion Pizza, Nicholas from Slice Pizzerias, and Marianne from Paulie Gee's. Thank you all for joining me, and enjoy the rest of the New York Pizza Festival.
Thank you.
I just want to say, thank you so much, guys. So nice meeting you guys. We just see like from here. I would love to meet you guys. I'm an overseas. I will be back like next week. And please, all of you guys could be my guests one day. We could have a lunch. Please just be safe, okay, guys? And if you guys need anything, any help from me, more than welcome. Like if you guys need any help for IG or like anything that I can help you guys, please, more than welcome. You can get all my contact from Scott and 24/7. I'll be there for you guys.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
He's not
Likewise.
joking. He's not joking. If you have a flat tire, call him at 3 a.m.
Oh, I might call you.
Not in St. Louis. Not in St. Louis. All right, guys. Thanks again so much for joining.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you, mate.